Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we're discussing The Greek Isle, which originally aired on Hallmark on Saturday, June 6th, 2026, and is now streaming on Hallmark Plus. You can keep up with us over on Instagram. Things fell apart for about a week there, but we're getting back on track.
Come on. It's fine.
I dropped the ball. Life was lifing around here. Both kids' birthdays, last week of school, just a lot going on. So
I bet nobody really cares.
they do not. But typically over on Girls Gone Hallmark, you can find out our weekly schedule and regular updates from us. Wendy shared some fun Hallmark-related news over there.
Guys, that's like the first time I've been over on our Instagram.
I was like, who posted to Girls Gone Hallmark Instagram?
In weeks. Yeah, life has been happening. So I was like, oh, look at me sharing all this stuff all of a sudden.
We are Girls Gone Hallmark.
Hey, I have it's not breaking headline news, but I have some news I learned over the weekend regarding one of the July Christmas movies.
Yes.
Can we talk about it for a second before we jump into The Greek Isle? Okay, so the movie premiering on Saturday, July 4th is called Christmas Under Construction, and it stars Daniel Lissing and Jessica Lowndes. However, this movie previously premiered on Hulu in 2024 under a different name called Renovation Romance.
Indeed.
And it's still currently available on Hulu under that name.
Oh, interesting.
I had a off-mic discussion with Megan about this, and she said she read a Reddit.
I just Googled Renovation Romance, and the first thing that came up was a negative Reddit review.
Yikes. I mean, am I surprised that Hallmark acquired this movie? Not really. Am I surprised it's a Daniel Lissing movie? Kind of.
Yeah, it will be interesting. We will be doing our July 1st impressions. I'm trying to remain neutral and hope that maybe it surprises me, but the reviews I'm seeing so far, not great. But I think Hallmark last year did no Christmas movies. It was just Christmas at Sea, and there were no new movies. And so...
Really? Is that accurate? I can't remember.
Yeah, there were no new Christmas movies last year. So I think they felt like, last year Hallmark, if you look, the number of weekends without a new movie, it was numerous, plus the number of Hallmark Plus re-airs we got last year. So I think they've been trying to move away from that. And so, I guess they gotta fill the space with an acquisition now and then.
Yay. Let's talk about the Greek Isle.
Let's do it. Hit me with a synopsis.
When Georgia travels to the Greek island of Corfu to finalize an inheritance, she unexpectedly discovers that marrying her handsome co-inheritor is the only way to meet the requirements.
McLean Nelson directed The Greek Isle. His recent Hallmark credits include Missing the Boat and A Keller Christmas Vacation.
The teleplay was written by Betsy Sullinger and McLean Nelson. The story is by Betsy Sullinger, who previously wrote Hallmark's A Novel Noel in 2024.
Apostolis Totsikas stars opposite Nikki DeLoach as her unexpected co-inheritor, Alex.
Can you hear me laughing?
Do you know why I did that?
Because you knew I would be like, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Thank you. Nikki DeLoach stars as Georgia. Up next, she will reprise her role in the True Justice 3 movie, Lost Love.
Hey, Wendy, what is your first impression of The Greek Isle?
Corfu looked beautiful, but those Euros deserve top billing.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot to say about the Euros.
Euros?
Gyros.
Yeah.
Euros? I am saying it correctly, right?
Well, you're saying it like EUROS. I think it's Euros. Like
girl.
Okay. What? Doesn't matter. My first impression is I'm going to need to get married again so I can wear Georgia's fake wedding dress.
Oh my God. Her wardrobe was stunning. It's in my likes.
Me too. Let's talk what we liked about this movie.
I'm going to be quite honest.
Okay.
I was not really looking forward to this movie.
Yes.
One, because I was like, typical Hallmark story. Very traditional story of I'm inheriting something and I gotta marry somebody and we're gonna be frenemies to lovers and blah, 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 blah. That's what I assumed it was going to be.
Right.
Then I learned like the day of or day before that McLean Nelson was attached to this project. And I was like, oh, that changes everything for me.
I agree with you 100% because I learned also this weekend that McLean was attached, and because he was promoting it over on his Instagram, and I was like, oh, well, then I'm all in now.
Yeah, I love him as a director, and then he had a writing credit as well. And one of my faves of his is Haul Out the Halloween. It was so damn funny. And so I was like, okay, I'm seated. I will watch this. Well, then I start watching it and I was like, Nikki DeLoach is having so much fun as this character, as Georgia. She was doing something not every Hallmark lead can do. And she doesn't always do. Like, she sometimes is very, like, plays like a serious sort of role, or very straight, you know? She was great with, like, very funny dialogue. There was multiple times I laughed out loud because not that the line itself was hilarious, but it was the way she delivered it. There was one. And we're talking about Cassandra.
Yes, of course.
Before she knew Cassandra was a cat. And then she was like, okay. And it just was like, it felt very natural. She felt like a real person, a little sarcastic, super impulsive, chaotic. Like, I loved Nikki in this role.
Yeah, I love that Cassandra scene when Alex is like, oh, I'll go get her. She's like, what? No. Like, very, very relatable when she's like hissing at him, like, now's not the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought she was great. And then, in addition, I love that her character, Georgia's the problem. Georgia comes up with this marriage plan, which we don't usually get our Hallmark leading lady to be the one. Like, they are the ones that are usually like reacting to all the things happening around them. But like, she goes in and she's like, what if we get married? Completely unhinged. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, let me talk about that marriage plot, because this movie had the opportunity to be something very different, and it was different from what I expected, because I think they made some great storytelling choices that allowed me to fully buy in to the story. One, I went into this thinking that somehow the inheritance required them to be married, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And I should have thought that through. But the reality was, that was her solution to their problem. That's going to speed things along. We'll get married. I'll establish residency. All will be well. Great. The other thing they did, which is really smart, is these two knew each other. Now, yes, they had a loose connection from many, many, many years ago, but they did have a foundation that they were building on. They had a youthful flirtation, and they both cared very much about her aunt. And so I think those things, you could have told the story without including those elements, but it wouldn't have been as good.
I agree. I was really worried that it was going to be an enemies to lovers situation. And I'm so glad it wasn't. And that is exactly what I thought it would be. The typical Hallmark formula where they hate each other for 75 minutes and then they kiss, right? I love you. I like that, they basically liked each other from the start.
Yes.
I do have a wish, though, and it's going to tie back to what I just said and what you just said about them knowing each other. But I like that the tension between them wasn't, they can't stop fighting. It was instead of like, how can we figure this out so everybody wins? That's what I enjoyed about it.
I thought it was well played. In terms of the storytelling, there was some incredible writing in this movie. I LOL'd at Secret Lives of Grecian Wives. That has McLean Nelson all over it.
Doesn't it? Yes, I thought so too.
And My Little Skinny Greek Wedding, great line. And I also loved the possibly missed line where Alex is telling Georgia that she would make a terrible detective.
Yes, I laughed out loud.
Nice little Curious Caterer zinger right there. I just thought there were so many lines like that I just thought were so clever. And we know that McLean had a hand in Haul Out the Halloween. And I like when we see his writing stamp on things. Just he levels things up.
Yeah, his writing his choices are very contemporary and they land for someone like me who like is very familiar with like Bravo.
Yeah,
or,
very
you
rooted
know,
in pop culture.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A couple of small little things. Corfu, I don't know where this place is at, but it's stunning.
I know. My notes say Greece, obviously.
I'm like, take me there. The water, the architecture, those little streets, like the food. The food always looks good. I remember watching The Groomsmen and they were in Greece and there was like a feta salad and there was feta salad in this one too. And I'm like, can I get a feta salad here in Orange County somewhere that has like these big chunks of feta cheese and just like vegetables? It looks amazing.
Do you just want to take a Greek Isles cruise? Because I think we should do that.
Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Definitely. Put it on the mood board, baby, because this is now the third like cruise I think we want to take together.
I know.
A couple other little things. I liked that there were just nice people in this movie. So we have the whole detective interview, right? Where they have the dinner. And then Alex goes with his future boss and they're talking about like potentially working as a detective. And I just like that Alex comes clean and tells the truth.
Yes.
And he's like, here's the situation. And then it kind of leaves it on the cliffhanger. The boss is like, well, let me tell you what, now that I know the truth, here's what it is. These are just like good people. There's no giant misunderstanding. There's no fake conflict of that. It just felt good. And then to put a button on it, the land registry guy comes at the end and he's like the nicest guy. Like the entire movie, they made him out as being like, oh, you got to really fake it for this guy. He's terrifying. He's the nicest man in Greece.
I know. You know, I'm reading a book, just finished a book. It's also about a fake marriage. And the entire time I'm waiting for the discovery, the blow up of people finding out that they're faking it. And they eventually come clean in the book and everyone reacts in these really appropriate ways. And I was like, oh my gosh, that didn't need to be the drama. Like, that's not where the conflict was. I liked that we didn't have all this blow up of having to smooth all of these feelings over.
That's a really good point. Do you think Hallmark leans too heavily on that being the meat of their story, is like the big blow up, the villain, the misunderstanding?
I think we've been leaning a little bit more recently into real conflict, because the real conflict in this movie doesn't come from discovering that their marriage is fake. It comes from, we live on different continents, we have different lives. How are we going to make that work? And I do have some thoughts on that, but I like when the conflict isn't some silly misunderstanding. This is the reality of life. How do we make our life work? And I do think we've seen a little bit more of that in our Hallmark movies recently.
I hope that's a trend we keep seeing. You know, and I know a lot of listeners are like, I like the escapist mode. You know, like, give me all the escapist drama.
Yeah, but this is so escapist. Like, she goes to this beautiful island, meets a beautiful Greek man. They fall in love. He's got a wonderful mother. And, you know, I just thought this is so escapist. Like, look at her wardrobe.
Oh my God, the wardrobe. Is that on your likes?
Yes. Can I talk about Nikki?
Yes.
I love everything about Nikki's look in this movie. First of all, the sleek bob she's rocking at the beginning.
Her hair looked amazing, right?
Incredible. And her hair softens into waves as she's falling in love, as will often happen with our female characters. And I liked that as well. But in the beginning, when she's just got that really blunt, sleek bob, I loved it. It's a look that I've never seen on her. She's got incredible clothes. Her dresses throughout, they're giving aspirational vacation at every turn. Her wedding dress was stunning. I loved it. The shoes she wore. And she's rocking these Michelle Obama arms. And I don't know if you remember, but in Christmas at Sea, one of her scenes, like, she runs into, I'm air quoting, one of the couples that they're following in season 1 in the gym. And I don't know why, but seeing her in all these sleeveless shirts with these killer arms, I'm like, we need the workout routine.
I got to tell you, it's the number one thing on my Did You See That? And since it got mentioned here, I wrote, Nikki DeLoach's arms are absolutely shredded.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm like, where did those arms come from? Has she been like working on that? Yes. we just spent an hour on Patreon and I was talking about how I need a real like weightlifting routine. Maybe we need to message Nikki and see if we can get her on the podcast and just talk about what the arm routine is.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Yeah. How do you prioritize that?
Damn. Looks great.
I have one more like.
Okay.
I loved Elena, Alex's mom. I think she's overbearing, but in a fun, roll your eyes lovingly at her sort of way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she is definitely like a little bit of the stereotypical Greek mother, perhaps, but you can't help but love her.
No, I thought she was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
She was so loving and like warm and just down for the ride of it all, I guess, She
wasn't overbearing in a, oh, my baby boy, and you're stealing him away sort of way. Yeah. Like she was, in a love multiplies kind of way.
Yeah, that's so nice.
It was nice. Do you have any more likes?
That's it.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come right back to talk about our wishes. All right, Wendy, what did you wish for?
I needed more proof that these two had history. Yes, we know that she spent a summer there, or was it a summer or was it longer? I can't.
I don't know. She just kept saying like studied abroad.
Yeah, right. This movie keeps telling us that Georgia and Alex knew each other from years ago, but I never really fully bought into it, especially because there's this moment where his mom says to her, like, oh, Alex, or she says Alexandra or whatever his name is. I'm sorry. And you see Georgia kind of go, oh, Alex. Like she didn't fully remember who he was, but Alex knew, like Alex clearly remembered who Georgia was. And so what I would have loved is maybe like a little flashback or some old photos or a story, something, because my interpretation is that maybe there was a young Alex who was maybe like a little bit awkward and like was a lovesick puppy for Georgia.
Sure.
And has been carrying it for all this time. And Georgia didn't really know who he was. That's the story I have built in my head.
Yeah.
Rather than like these two flirted her entire time that they were there.
I think your story might be more accurate because when Alex is talking to Nico in the beginning, Nico's like, oh, didn't you have a crush on her? And he's like, I had a crush on every girl who would even look my direction.
Yeah.
So you get the impression that he was like a little bit of an awkward younger dude who kind of grew into himself.
Yeah. So I just wish there was something that we could have seen that. Like I would love like a flashback, but I know that's hard to execute.
Yeah. Especially, when there's 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. I have two more wishes. The other one is I wish we would have gotten a little bit more about Georgia's creative work. I had picked up that maybe, so she has her business partner. Is it Rose?
I can't
remember her name. But Rose kind of seems to, like, Georgia's the creative one.
Yes.
And Rose is like the business one, right? Kind of like us, Megan. I'm joking. Anyway, and it seems to me maybe Georgia, I mean, obviously she's not opening her mail and like reading these things.
What the hell? Yes.
Yeah. So I have now pegged her in my mind as like, oh, she's this like flighty creative one who can't like be pinned down or whatever. But then like she goes to Greece and she's trying to like come up with a marketing pitch for this jewelry, right? It's like a whiff of a C storyline that we get. At the end, Georgia talks about like, oh, being here is like inspired me again and stuff. It just was like a weird storyline that didn't really come full.
Well, that kind of speaks to one of my wishes, if I can piggyback on that really quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it's that the message of her being flighty is very mixed in this movie. Her parents called any decision that they didn't like, that wasn't the path that they envisioned for her, flighty, right? If you're going to pursue a creative path, that's being flighty, which that's inaccurate, one. But she's clearly a strong, capable woman. But she also ignored legal notices for an entire year. When she hands it to her business partner and she's like, decode this. Come on. It's not written in a language that you cannot understand. I was frustrated by that. And She ignored it for an entire year without expecting there to be consequences. But when she arrives in Greece, she's very no nonsense, very like, these are the steps we need to take to get things done. And she takes the bull by the horns, so to speak. I mean, she's moving forward, but we're to believe, you know, she gets nervous. She's like, oh, do you think I'm being flighty when she's talking to her business partner? And I'm like, that's unfair that your parents put that on you because it's the wrong adjective. Like maybe you're not as driven by the business side of things, but to suggest that the creative force is flighty because she's not the one handling the spreadsheets is uneven.
I agree. Absolutely agree. There was one part when she's telling Alex about like her parents were disappointed in her. I don't know how old this character late 30s, 40s.
Right.
If my parents were like, oh, I'm disappointed in you because you've left a big corporate and struck out on your own.
Yeah. And she was very clear about not asking them for money because her business partner is like, should we call your parents? And she's like, no, we're going to figure this out. So what part of that is disappointing to you?
As a parent, I'd be like, no, I'm not. What?
Right.
What? Now, if my 18-year-old was like, I'm not going to go to college and become an influencer. Okay, I might have some words about it, but I'm not going to say anything to my 35-year-old plus child. I'm going to be supportive. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird. Okay. My last wish, and I have a feeling you might have similar feelings, is what's this look like going forward? What's happening here?
Right. So I wrote, I might be mad if my business partner decided to move to another country and work remotely indefinitely. So don't go falling in love with a Greek dude, Wendy, because I think it is a little bit unfair to her business partner to make this big decision.
Yeah.
And what's she going to say? Like, of course, they're best friends. So, of course, she's going to be like, okay, well, choose you. But how are we going to make this work? We're going to Zoom meeting every one of our... And it's unclear because it doesn't seem like they have a plan. She's like, I just need more time to figure out how we're going to make this work. But he's going to be a Greek detective. He cannot relocate or even spend part of the year in the States or Canada.
Maybe that is how they wrap this story up. They're like, okay, we don't actually need a fully fleshed out ending here. We're just going to say like, Georgia needs to figure it out. So she just needs more time to figure it out. Yeah, it is unfair to her business partner who they have like a firm in the States or whatever. And I mean, you and we can do podcasting wherever.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be remote forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're like, I want to move across the country to live where my kid lives. Yeah. Okay. We could do it. But would you want to remotely? I don't know.
I honestly thought about this. This is so funny that you bring it up. I thought about it. I was like, what if one of us moved like to another country? We would have to find a time of day that crossed over for the both of us, right? That we could do this. But I mean, there's no plans for that. So
not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not moving to another country.
Me neither. That's all I got for wishes.
Well, let's talk. Did you see that?
One, I already talked about Nikki's arms. I want to talk about, which I think was a body double situation.
Oh.
When they went swimming.
And the swimsuit?
The swimsuit was real cheeky.
Incredibly cheeky.
It was like, I saw it twice. I actually think it was like, it looked like a thong.
Yes.
Whatever. Like, I don't care. But I don't think that was Nikki swimming in those Nikki or the actor who played Alex swimming in that, because it looked like a drone scene basically. Like,
well, and it was kind of rough, like
super rough.
I was like, I don't think I would want to swim through here. I'd be afraid I'd get smushed up against the side of the cave wall.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that bathing suit was real cheeky. And then when they showed Nikki out of the water, it was not.
No, it was very, very much not.
Very Hallmark appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. We actually had a listener, Michelle, also DM us and say, did you see that bathing suit bottom?
Yeah. It was kind of surprising for Hallmark.
Yeah, me too.
Because if you'll recall the finish line, do you remember Kim Matula's tragic red bathing suit?
Yes, but in Keith Nielsen's defense.
Yeah, he had a hot one that was Too sexy for TV.
Too sexy for Hallmark TV.
Yeah.
The food, I know I talked a little bit about it, but also in my first impression, the gyro. Am I saying it right?
I don't know. I'm not Greek. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I love me a gyro, but it had French fries in it. They put French fries in it. And I was like, oh my God, that looked amazing.
Didn't it?
They were just chowing down on them too. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, gotta go to Greece, man.
I mean, or to my local Nick's down the street.
Nick the Greek.
Yes, exactly.
Did they put French fries in their gyros?
I don't know, but I do know locally every summer there is the Laguna Sawdust Festival, and they have a Greek stand there that they sell these feta fries. So it's French fries with crumbled feta cheese and lemon on it. They're so freaking good.
Do you know that I've never been to the Sawdust Festival ever in my life? But you know who would love it?
Your daughter?
Yeah.
It's a nice vibe.
I think I gotta take her.
It's very low key.
Yeah.
You just look at all the booths, and then they have some like interactive stuff you can do, and music and food. It's fun. My last, did you see that? It goes back to Nikki's wardrobe. It was incredible but there was one scene that I noticed she was wearing leggings under one of her maxi dresses. I saw it peek out from the bottom of it. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, was it cold?
Maybe.
When they were filming this?
Maybe.
I don't know.
All right. When they get married, they put rings on the right hand, and I thought I was like really getting something there. And then Alex goes to put the ring on her right hand, and he goes, "It's the Greek way." And then I looked it up, and it is in fact Greek tradition to wear your wedding rings on your right hand.
Thank you for clarification on that, because I noticed that too.
Speaking of interesting clothing choices, in the final canal swim, they're both wearing water shoes, which I understand were necessary for the moment, but also they truly ruin their cute outfits. Like, she's got this cute bathing suit and a sarong and these black and lime green water shoes.
Yeah.
And this final, did you see that? This is at least the second movie Nikki DeLoach has starred in where she has been required to split an inheritance. Sweet Autumn with Andrew Walker being the other that I know.
Oh, good pull, Megan.
Yeah, I believe it's her aunt in that one leaves her the candy store.
Oh, we watched that, didn't we?
Yes, and Nikki's character is so mean through most of the movie.
Oh, that's truly a like enemies to lover movie.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, what did you rate? I almost said Sweet Autumn. What did you rate The Greek Isle?
I gave it 4 stars.
As did I. Nice, strong start for Summer of Love. Summer Lovin'.
Is that what it's called? Summer Lovin'?
What is it called?
Summer Lovin' seems...
Summer Nights.
Okay. Less spicy.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. If you love this podcast, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. Drop them in the Apple Podcast app, and we'll be back next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.